In Latin, there is a saying that my mother loves. Nolo dubitare hoc statim fac. Do not doubt or hesitate. Go with haste or act immediately. Rough translation. Act on this immediately. And that is sitting with me today as I come to you with the first edition of what I am calling digestible content. I am your guide. My name is Tamara Williams Van Horn, and I'm here to help bring you the kinds of exercises, practices, tools, and toys and guides that you can digest. I know I come across so much content every single day. There are always great podcasts, there are great articles, there are great courses, and it just all becomes so much. And it's so difficult to figure out what piece of this can I take in, what piece of this is mine to integrate. And so we're going to practice here on this channel. I'm going to bring you some of my favorites. I'm going to ask you for suggestions around your favorites, and we're going to try some things out. Today I am coming to you on the behest of my teacher, and so we are not doing like fancy lighting. As you can see, there's the glare in my glasses. This is coming at you live and in person, and we're also going to keep these to be pretty short. Again, digestible content. I really want this to be a channel that you can watch and revisit and reference when you have a moment. You'll hear the people that live with me doing the things that they do in their home. This is really natural and authentic, and I want that for you. I want you to be able to access content that you can integrate and make use of in your real life. And your real life, if it's anything like mine, includes things like scooping the cat box and cleaning the bathtub and making appointments for yourself and for others, and all of those kinds of things that don't often get talked about in the personal growth or self-help business. And certainly, you know, those who are making the kinds of money doing their services are talking about these are the things that they're offboarding. I'm not at that point yet, and so I hope that the things I'm finding to help me live a full life with a lot on my plate are the things that help you with your plate. So we're going to try and make these lessons themselves about 5 minutes in length. We'll see how we do, but that's the goal. And I am hoping to stage these videos on YouTube as we begin to build out. So please subscribe, like, comment, all of those things on the YouTube channel. And please, let's start a conversation. So what are we going to talk about for our inaugural episode? So the first episode comes after being in conversation with some folks that I'm in class with right now. And this is a small group of people, and we were talking about resistance, and we were talking about how do you get through resistance. And I don't know. I don't have that answer yet. Resistance trips me up all the time. I've heard that there is a great book. I own the book. I've not yet read the book, right? Resistance, called The War of Art. And I've heard that that really deals with a lot of resistance busting techniques. And my favorite resistance busting technique is writing. And I love this book, Write It Down, Make It Happen, by Henrietta Anne Klauser. It is really a goal-oriented book. As you can see, it says knowing what you want and getting it. And so she just breaks down a number of different ways to conceptualize having goals and dreams and things that you want to do in this world, and using writing practice, using scribotherapy, using journaling techniques to bring what you think of out into reality. So, chapter 16 is about resistance, and I want to bring you this exercise. So, the way we're going to do things is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about resistance, a little bit about the exercise, and then I'll give you the instructions, and then you'll try it, and then you'll report back here. How did it go? What happened? Take what you can use and leave the rest always applies. If it didn't resonate with you, I would love to know, and let me know what did come through for you and what you are noticing. So resistance, procrastination, hesitation, nolo dubitare, hoc statum fac, self-doubt, talking yourself out of things, all of those are signals that you might be experiencing some resistance. And in my experience, when I am really truthful and get quiet and kind of invite the guidance from the resistance, when I don't fight it, when I don't shame myself for it, when I don't make myself a bad person for acknowledging that I am in resistance, when those kinds of things happen, it's usually because of fear. I usually find something that I'm afraid of. And for me, that's usually about pain. That's usually about experiencing some pain in the past and not wanting to repeat it. So, protectively avoiding an activity or a task or an outreach or an ask or taking on a new project that might not go so well and might result in pain. And that is so okay. Like, if you're not afraid of something in this world, I really want to talk to you. And we may need to invite in a third party because things out there are objectively kind of scary. And it really takes a lot of self practice and self trust and self conversation and self awareness to make sense and stabilize in this mixed up world that we're all experiencing right now, where there's just so much going on and things are happening at such a fast pace. So first, I want to say resistance, fear, it's real, it's normal, it's so human. I want you to give yourself a great big self hug. That'll be another digestible content. And when we are in that fear, I have found that somatic practices are shortcuts. They're super fast ways to break through any kind of fear-based practice. So whether that's shaking or jogging or moving my body or going for a walk or using the kinesthetic power of free writing practices, which means you set a timer and you just let the words flow out of your pen. This is, of course, a very ableist explanation of things. If you don't have access to handwriting, of course, you will do this in a different way. It might be a little bit different for you, and I would highly suggest that we locate someone with a physical disability that makes handwriting inaccessible so that we can kind of talk through adaptations to this practice. But I'm coming to you from my set of abilities, my lived experience, and what really does work for me is this kinesthetic freedom of free writing. I'm just letting the pen move across the page for a set amount of time. I would recommend starting off with 3 to 5 minutes and not really lifting your pen off the page, not really taking time to edit or to think. If you aren't coming up with a word, you can write, I am not coming up with this word. If you don't know what to write, you can certainly write, I don't know what to write. There are no rules other than try to disconnect that inner critic that is in your brain and just allow your body to misspell, not cross T's or dot I's. I always do though. But that's what I mean. It's like letting yourself be as free as you can in the moment. The other interesting thing that I want to say about free writing practices as a whole is there is free writing and there is fast or rapid writing. And those two can be distinct practices. So when you are free writing, it might be interesting to take note of kind of your body position and what's going on. Are you hunched over? Are you tensed up? Are your hands clutching your writing implement really, really hard? Are you kind of jabbing through the page and like making really deep impressions in the paper? Those are things to kind of think about, and maybe perhaps as you engage with your breath and your breathing during your 3 to 5 minute writing practice, maybe think about being intentional about your hand movements. Just invite in that intention. Not necessarily not engage in free writing, not necessarily taking your pen up and doing some thinking, but going from to kind of, oh, and this is what it feels like to feel my hand hold the pen. This is what it feels like to notice how the ink is making marks on the paper. Like that meditative aspect can come along and sister your free writing practice as you're writing through resistance. Or if your body really isn't feeling safe in that moment, it might be better to let yourself hold the tension and like put it on the page, like let it all go onto the page. So those are just some things to think about as you are free writing. So this is the practice, this is the process. Take out blank paper or a blank screen if handwriting is not accessible, and maybe do a brief summary as if you were telling your best friend on a 2-minute phone call. Like you only have 2 minutes to communicate what you're in resistance about, and just putting that at the top of the page. And then I'm going to suggest, I always suggest this in everything that I do, so probably this should have been the first episode, but it's not. Take that breath in and let it out. Do 2 or 3 deep grounding breaths just to get present and settled. You might want to feel your feet flat on the ground. Again, if feet flat on the ground is accessible to you, get settled, get into that space, invite in your guidance, invite in the truth that needs to come out, and then just write. Set your timer and just write. Don't read it, just write. What are you in resistance about? Just let it go. Once your 5 minutes are up, it's good to get up out of your seat, stretch, do a couple jumping jacks. Again, all of this is adaptable to your level of access. Resituate your body, reorient your body, and then come back and see if you can read through what you've written. And if you are not complete, if you don't feel that, like after you do a good cry or after you've really like let out a bunch of energy, if you don't feel that satisfactory kind of peace, that like, I wouldn't call it emptiness, but like finishedness with the subject, reset your timer for another 5 minutes and then write through resistance again. And do as many rounds as you can in a series until you will find, as hard as it is to believe, you will find that you come to some level of peace. You come to some level of clarity. You will find a tiny breadcrumb or a next best step, or at least just a piece that allows you to do things like go about the rest of your day, or ask for some help from an outside party, whatever that is. It really is writing through resistance. You acknowledge the resistance is there, you engage in your kinesthetic support practices, and you just let it all go until your nervous system calms down, resets itself, and is able to bring forward the divine guidance that is in your system, the divine answers that are inside of you. You are fully equipped and prepared to do anything that you want to do in this world, including make all your dreams come true, including writing through resistance. So, I am Tamara. This is Digestible Content, and today we talked about free writing or rapid writing through resistance, helped by chapter 16 in Write It Down, Make It Happen. If you have any comments or questions, or would like to share with me the results of some of your exercises around writing through this resistance, or if you have a different practice that really works for you and you'd like to share it with our community, use the comments section down below, in the Vlogbrothers terms, in the doobly-doo, and I will get back to you and we will continue this conversation. I'm really excited to be on this journey with you. I'm really excited to give you digestible content, and I will sign off with saying, I am because we are, and because we are, therefore I am. I will not tolerate nor participate in the perpetuation of slavery. Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.